So I have a $25,000 trade running here, and the question really is, it's a long position. The question really is, should I keep this or should I just close it, or what is the market going to do today? We do see some green here, which I think can be really good. And as I explained yesterday on the show, I literally said that we're going to come down here to this 3.31-ish trillion region. That is what happened. We came down to the 3.3, and then we're kind of bouncing, but the question is, are we going to be able to sustain this? Should I close my position? Should I, keep it open? Should I add to it? That's what we're going to talk about today. If you don't know who I am, my name is Fefe, and I bring you these daily updates, very, very short, 5-minute, 10-minute, but it helps you navigate the day. I do them almost every single day when there is something on the market. I do have a private community. It's free, link in the description, so you can join in if you want to, not financial advice. So with these two, if you turn on the bell notifications and if you turned on the notification on the Telegram, you can get the latest alpha from me. I've been trading since 2018, so I think I just look at the track record and you can decide what you want to do. Okay, so that said, let's talk about this. So this is what I drafted yesterday on that yesterday's show, right? So you see it here, this was yesterday's show, and that said, we're going to come down here to this region and we should bounce from here. The reasoning was, we're up here when I said that, the reasoning for us coming down here was because the 50% retrace did not happen after creating a beautiful market structure. Plus, this is an hourly order block. So I explained all this yesterday. We're gonna put it in a card. If you wanna know the full reasoning, you can check yesterday's update. But the reasoning was that we have to come down here. And we did. One thing that I don't like about this is the following. Even though we completed the 50% pullback. By the way, guys, the way these work is that you have to watch this every day, okay? Because you're gonna fall behind. Literally dedicate these 5 to 10 minutes. Just watch it every day, okay? Because that's how you can keep track. So yesterday I explained, if you're watching this for the first time, it might not make that much sense. Watch yesterday's and watch tomorrow's and you will catch up. So if you look at this, what I said that we have to come back to the discount zone, which is down here under the 50% retrace, right? We did that, perfect. And we kind of see some bounce here. But what I always say, if we would be live, you would be writing it in the comments, is that you always want to be in the elevator, okay? And unfortunately, on the 15-minute structure, this is an elevator and stairs up, which means that we either have to really impulsively break above this 3.4 trillion, or we are going to reject hard because of the build-up liquidity. So this is why I'm debating whether I should close this position. I have this position on 𝗙𝗡𝗡, by the way. It's non-KYC, available worldwide. I work with them. We do have an affiliate link in the description. You can check it out. And if you want to try them out, do that. You can go down in the description. So this is why I trade. And I do have this trade open on 𝗙𝗡𝗡. And this is why I'm debating whether I should just close it or I should leave it open. So here's my reasoning. So now we have a beautiful internal structure. You go into the 5-minute and you're gonna see what the 5-minute does. You have a high here on the 5-minute. You have a retrace, beautiful. This I don't like. I thought actually that we're gonna dip one more and that would have been much better, but it's accumulating kind of, and then we struggling, but we do have a close above. We do have a 50% retrace. We do have another close above. We do have another 50% retrace. But again, the major problem, as I always say, is that it's coming up to a 5-minute OB and it's literally happening below that, which means that we have to reject. So what I'm gonna look at, and I am probably going to close some of my positions if we see a rejection from here. So if this is something that we're gonna see, or we're gonna have a close below this level, even from here, I have to close like 30% of my position, because it doesn't make sense to give back all these profits, because then it means that yes, the retrace happened, yes, we were down enough, and it's just accumulating. Do I think that the bottom is still in? Yes. Why? Because this is the low for the 4-point structure down here. So at 3.24 is the low, so we can even come all the way down here and if not break below. And the liquidity is building up is sufficient enough to have another leg and then, maybe a retrace. But I just think if we reject here, I think that we're gonna have a better opportunity to add back to the position lower. So this is what I'm gonna do. Again, TLDR, we're coming up to this 15-minute order block. If we reject here, meaning we're gonna see a lower low on the 15 or the 5, actually this is the level 335 right now, but if we push, then this is going to be the 336. If we're gonna see a rejection there, I'm going to sell 25% of my position. I am going to update you in the community, as I always do with all the trades. When we close the hedge short at 15% profit, I told you that as well. When we were up on the Solana trade as it was going up, I told you about that as well. So I'm gonna update you there, but this is what I'm doing. The other scenario is that we don't reject, and I really wanna see this. I really want to see this because there is sufficient liquidity on top here. There is sufficient liquidity building up. We can see, and this is what I'm counting on, we can see a push here and all the way up here to the 364, which would be incredible for the Solana trade going to 180, 185. Would be incredible. We can see this, and this is what a most likely scenario in my opinion is, but you cannot bet against the market, and it only confirms if we close above the 3.41 trillion. So if we close above there before breaking below, I'm gonna be super happy. That's going to be the confirmation for me that yes, this is continuing right now and we're not going to reject. But if we reject here, we have to take this low and probably come down to the 327 and then go on from there. This is the scenario if we reject. And if we don't reject, then we're probably just gonna push higher. And I'm actually not, I'm not even sure that we're gonna have a pullback after that, to be honest. Like if we close above here, I think it's game on. I think if we close above 334, then we're gonna go 346, immediately push through, and then here probably gonna have some consolidation, some chop, whatever, but come all the way up to the 3.64. So I'm gonna update you again in the community. Someone asked about the bots, so I do have these bots running. I told you the bots are there to always just simply accumulate and trade for us in this choppy volatile market. I set these bots up based on my trading criteria. They are good bots. So you can check them out. You can simply just copy them. Some of them are in profit, some of them are in loss. But again, this is the purpose of them, that they accumulate in these regions, and once they do, they just push higher when the high happens, and that's when you really accumulate. That's when you really take profit. You can get a $1,000 sign-up bonus if you want to sign up to Pionex, where you can copy these bots. Literally the best copy platform as well, and you can copy them here if you just simply click on them. What else do I have? I think that's it. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Again, I think we're gonna push through, but I have to be ready to preserve capital, and preserve capital comes from actually, if we reject, I have to sell. That's what I'm gonna do. Not financial advice. You do whatever you want to do. Again, please check this video out. It's going to be about a trading strategy that I use. So if you can get a little bit more familiar, we're gonna do a whole course. You can get up-to-date information in the Telegram, which is down in the description. Again, it's free, and just for YouTube, again, not financial advice, because if I say Telegram and I say the other word, then it's just not gonna like it. So go ahead and check that out, and yeah, come back for another one tomorrow. Subscribe here. Take care. Ciao.